up? Welcome back to the Nobles Nido. If you are new around here, we are about to bring our third baby home, and we found out that we were pregnant when we were 5 months postpartum with our second child. We will have 3 kids in under 4 years, and I had a miscarriage before my first child, so I have been pregnant a lot. I thought we could talk about today all the ways that we are preparing for our third kid, having just done it all with our second kid. And I thought the first part of that could be jumping in and showing you the things that we've bought, because guess what? The more kids you have, the less you buy. A, because you already have it all, and B, because you're just like, I don't need any of this. And I can truly tell you that there's a lot of stuff you don't need. Now, if it's your first kid or your second kid, or if you're just dang tired, buy what you need, okay? Like, buy what you think's gonna help, because honestly, you just gotta get through. And so if you think that formula maker, or if you think that swivel bassinet, if you think any of those things are gonna help, get them. And you know what? They're gonna make a difference in your life. So don't feel like you can have to get by on nothing, but you can get by on almost nothing. You really don't need much when it comes to a baby. Those other items that people buy and people market and people sell to you, they're really just for convenience, and there's nothing wrong with buying those things. So this is not at all a video to shame you if you are in the market for all kinds of cool new baby stuff. We just aren't, because we, A, don't have a ton of finances, and B, we were just put through the ringer. So going through the ringer again is just kind of like, okay. So let me show you what all we've actually purchased. The first thing I want to tell you about is a Doona. So when I had my second daughter, she wrecked my back. I have a really bad back anyways. I damaged it probably about 6 years ago. And I was in a ton of pain with my daughter, and some friends, some very generous friends, let us have their Doona that their daughter was outgrowing. They had been gifted the Doona, and they just wanted to gift the Doona. So the only reason we could have afforded to use the Doona was because they gave it to us. Well, when we found out that we were pregnant again, I had given that Doona away already to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law got in a really bad car wreck. Praise the Lord, her and the kids, everybody was fine, which was literally a miracle. But the Doona was ruined, so I couldn't get it back from her to use for this baby. So we found a Doona online. They very generously, it was used. We trusted the people. Actually, weirdly, they ended up going to our church, which was crazy. Crazy cool story. And we were able to get a used Doona for $300. But we did buy some accessories to go with it. So let me show you what those are. Now, we had previously been a 2-car family, but when we found out we were pregnant, my husband's car also died. And we were like, oh, we can't afford 2 cars with 3 kids in daycare anyways, because we both work full time. So we had given away our 2 car seats that were in his car. So we only had 2 convertible car seats for our kids that we have now. So we had to buy a car seat anyways. And I knew that the Doona, the reason why I even told the backstory, I don't think I ever finished that story, but the reason why I tell that is because you don't have to lug the stroller or the car seat anywhere, right? Because it becomes a stroller. So for my back, it was really helpful as I was going to the chiropractor and starting to strength train again, because strength training is what keeps my back in really good shape. But that all goes out the window when I'm pregnant. So the Doona is just really great for convenience. Our kids will grow out of it. This baby will be out of it in 7 months, but honestly, it was worth it. So what we bought, we had to buy the head support for the newborn. Highly recommend this. I have loved this. This was awesome. It replaced all of those layered head cover things that you can get. So we bought the head support, and we bought the infant insert because the car seat didn't come with those. Both of those I recommend getting if you're gonna buy a used one that doesn't have it. And then as a luxury, the Doona does not have any type of storage on it. So we got this super cool clip-on bag. It clips to the Doona right here. So it still doesn't have a cup holder, but that's okay. I can probably just, use a cup that's closed when I'm using it. So that's what we bought. Those 3 items were about $100 off Doona.com. What else did we buy? So we did buy some diapers. We have a ton of leftover diapers for my daughter. We have 4 or 5 boxes of 2s, which is awesome. And then we've had some friends be very generous and give us 1s and stuff, but we don't have any newborn diapers. So went to Target, bought a pack of newborn diapers. We will buy more if we need to. We will hopefully move like straight up into the ones of the Kirkland brand because we prefer the Kirkland brand financially, but the Up and Up are really good too if you are on a tight budget and have to buy a lot of diapers. We have 3 kids in diapers. So our son, we are going to start potty training. He will be 3 a month after this baby is born. And we think a month is like a good time for him to have to figure out that he has another baby in his life. And then we're going to hardcore start potty training. So hopefully we'll get him out of diapers, out of pull-ups really soon, but he's in pull-ups right now. And then of course my 1-year-old is in pull-ups also. So we got some diapers. We didn't need to buy any wipes because we had wipes and then we were gifted wipes from some people, which is amazing. Thank you. All the people that are generous and kind. We love you. We are a pacifier family. My son didn't need them once he found out that he had a thumb. He was good. My daughter loves her pacifier. And so we bought another set of pacifiers for this baby. We pacify right out the gate. We haven't had any issues with like nipple confusion or anything like that. So these are the Tommy Tippy brand. We are also a Tommy Tippy family. My daughter now has Tommy Tippy pacifiers, but they're not these. They're like a different shape. These are like a traditional kind of like bowed shape. You probably can't really see. Yeah, you can. So these are a traditional bowed shape. Hers are round, so we can distinguish them. She's a pacifier stealer. She does it to kids in daycare all the time. So we just want to make sure that we can tell their pacifiers apart and keep this baby's pacifiers out of that baby's mouth. You know what I mean? Speaking of pacifiers, we bought a bunch of pacifier clips. We have historically not been pacifier clip people, but with our second born being such a pacifier stealer, we thought we should probably buy some pacifier clips so that we can keep up with the new baby's pacifiers. We also reused all of our bottles from our son for our daughter, but bottles fine to be reused, but it was just getting to the point where after 2 years of heavy use, they were just not, I wasn't going to keep them. So we threw away all of our bottles. It was really sad. Normally I would donate them, but like the numbers were coming off and it just was not something that I felt good about giving to another mom. So we did keep 1 or 2 that retained their numbers and a couple of like the silicone nipples that were not looking really grody, but everything else we threw away. So I did have to buy new bottles for her, for this new baby. So we bought 2 sets of Tommy Tippy. Like I said, we really like Tommy Tippy. That's just been the best for us as a family. So that's what we're sticking with. So I bought a small pack of, this is 4 5-ounce bottles, and they're the extra slow flow. So we'll be using these at first when baby gets here. And then I bought this really fun and colorful pack. I know, I'm a silky mom, okay? Like super silky, not crunchy, they're not glass, like all those things. And I've been seeing these when I was looking for my daughter. I saw these and I was like, oh, those are so fun. And they're so different. And other families at our daycare use Tommy Tippy and stuff like that, but our daycare people are amazing and they kind of know whose bottles are whose. Also, they're labeled, but they'll really know whose bottles these are. So I bought these. This is a 6-pack of super colorful Tommy Tippies, and they are the slow flow. So they're like 1 step above the extra slow flow, but it won't take long for us to be in these. And these go up to 9 ounces, I think. And so we'll be able to use both sets of bottles for a long time because we won't go up to like 6 ounces for a while. So we'll fit in the 5-ounce bottles, but these will be great when we get up to 9 fluid ounces is what it says. So bought those 2. All of that came off Amazon and needs to be sterilized. And then the last thing that I bought, this is the last thing that I bought for her. Crazy, right? And I'm counting this for her because I'm only doing this for her. I bought another pump. So I'm a working mom. I exclusively pumped with my daughter, and I pretty much transitioned to exclusively pumping with my son when I went back to work with him after him. And I will try to breastfeed with this one. It has been a nightmare with both of my kids. It has not worked out. I think my son had a tongue tie, my daughter had a lip tie, And it just wasn't fun. I started with the Spectra that you had to plug into the wall with my son, and that was great. And that worked for 6 months. And I stopped breastfeeding my kids at 6 months both times. And so I got the Spectra that you plugged into the wall with my son. With my daughter, I had a Spectra that was bought by insurance. Both were bought by insurance. And it was one of the ones that you could like take places. And I was just starting to get to the point where I felt really suffocated and stuck, especially as I was going full-time pumping. And so I had a friend who was using the LV Stride, and she loved it and could like wear it out and like drive with it on and all of these things. So I was like, great, I'm gonna try to buy one of those, and they're super affordable out of pocket. So with my daughter, I bought a Stride and I loved it. And I only breastfed her for about 4 months just because I was super overwhelmed with 2 kids and going back. But I was able to store up enough milk to feed her milk well past 6 months. So I just went straight with the Stride this time. Insurance this time covered the majority of this. I only paid $100 for one of these. And I did have to buy a different flange set. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're gonna buy a breast pump, do your research on flange sizes. So I bought this too and spent about $100. And that was it. That's like literally all we've bought for our daughter. We are going to just put her in a pack and play that has a bassinet top on it. We have some sheets left over from when our little girl was in that pack and play for a while. We had, funnily enough, we had bought a beautiful like halo swivel bassinet that we used with Valley, my 1-year-old, and gave it away like weeks before we found out we were pregnant again. I'm glad we gave it away. It was the right decision, and we already had the pack and play, so I was like, I'm not buying another pack and play. So those are literally all the things that we have purchased having our third come into the world. Oh, we did buy some bottle soap, some like Altitude. It's my favorite type of bottle soap. It is more expensive, but it works so well when you're cleaning out bottles and stuff like that and your pump parts. And it's like non-toxic and all those things, but it gets all of the milk residue out. So we did buy that off Amazon. Best bottle soap I've found. I've tried a lot of them. I love that stuff. So that's what we've bought. Other than that, we've been getting ready for this little girl by just kind of ignoring the fact that she was coming until like a week out. I think this week we had a moment where we both sat on the couch and panicked and thought, oh my God, we're having a third kid. And oh my God, we have 3 under 3 and what are we gonna do? But we really haven't done much. I haven't bought any clothes for her or bibs or anything like that. We have all of Valley's old clothes we still have, so we washed those. Washed some swaddles. We will wash the pack and play sheets. I have cleaned like random areas of the house, things that don't need to be cleaned for her, but things that I know that are going to drive me nuts, and then not being able to do them is going to drive me nuts because I'm coming out of a C-section and it'll take a couple weeks. So like I scrubbed the inside of the shower. I have scrubbed the couch. We condition our leather couch is like 16 years old, and I condition it a couple of times a year. So I conditioned the leather couch, got all the dirt and stuff off, and then like I've scrubbed around the baseboards and the floor, and I'll mop the floors and stuff like that before she comes. But for the most part, that's it. That's all we're doing. So yeah, that's fun. We will do some food prep soon where I will prep a couple of meals, but for the most part, we've bought a lot of convenience items. You can go see my last grocery haul if you want to see how much freaking money we spent on food to get us through the postpartum. And the last thing that is a really big deal and kind of leads me into our financial talk is a present that Bryson got me. So hold on one second. Let me get the box. It happens to be a few days later. Bryson and the kids came home, and while they're so cute, they are hard to film around. So figured we'd pick up where we left off, which is me telling you about this beautiful espresso machine that Bryson bought me. We have been talking about this for a long time. I had an espresso previously that I sold for $100, and then we were able to get this on sale for $600, which was a great price. So we spent $500 total because we used the money from the Nespresso to pay for this. And it is just such a sweet gift. It makes me feel so seen. For so many reasons, he decided that it was just time to get one of these. A lot of that is because we have transitioned to being a one-car family, and he knows that I'm going to be stuck at home with the baby, which is going to drive me nuts for 8 weeks because I'm not really going to be able to go anywhere while he goes into the office. So it has been awesome. It also brings me to our financial update, which is so timely in that Bryson got both a promotion and a really big raise at work. And it came about a month or two ago. I've been waiting to say anything about it until they announce it at work. They technically still haven't announced it, but I'm pretty sure most people know. And the amount of money that he got in his raise yearly is enough to cover Atlas going to daycare for the year, which is awesome. Oh, this little girl's name is Atlas, by the way. So that was awesome and super timely of God. That doesn't mean that we still don't need to live in a tight budget. It just means that if we save and prioritize, we can have things that we care about again. We will now be able to save. So pretty much essentially Atlas being in daycare was going to take away any of our ability to save. We were still going to be able to tithe, but we weren't going to be able to save anything. And now we can both send her to get daycare and save money towards long-term goals like college, if the kids decide they want to go to college, towards retirement, and just like for our emergency fund and stuff like that. So we are feeling so grateful. Oh, it also allowed us to have a little bit bigger of a car payment, so we were able to get the Subaru. We are just beyond grateful. We're still going to need to try to stay within $500 a month on groceries, but it's not going to be the end of the world if we can't in a given month or two. So yeah, that's our financial update. All right, well, she's going to be here soon. Tomorrow, in fact, and that's crazy. So thanks for sticking along. Thanks for checking out what we bought for our third kid. We're so excited for her to be here. And I am so ready for this beach ball to turn into a baby and to not be pregnant ever again. Okay, well, if you want to stick along with the journey of 3 under 3, consider subscribing. Definitely like this video if you liked any part of it. That definitely helps. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.